How was the party?
It was fun.
How late did it go till?
I left at 1, so there were still people there.
About 2:30ish. I was spent. I was exhausted. Then we got up today and we pretty much cleaned everything up this morning and ta-da. But no, it was a good time.
Chad, I think you guys missed it. I think you did. Sue transformed.
No, we saw that. We saw that. Yeah, we saw that, and then a few minutes later when we left.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet.
It's cool.
Yeah, I mean, she cut it all from one. I mean, she made it all from one box, so all the cuts actually fit together.
Although your costume, Keith, was very good. Optimus worked out well.
It did come out well. Like I said, it was just a little unwieldy. I couldn't. I gotta trim it down a bit so I can actually reach my mouth. But it did. I am happy with how it looked. Did you take your kid trick or treating yesterday?
Ivan, that's to you.
You're the only one with the kid. Yes.
Well, you didn't let me talk.
There was a good couple seconds there where you didn't just say anything.
Well, there's something wrong with Skype then, because it was like all I heard was, "Did you take your kid out there?" And then Ivan.
Jeez, someone's got his bitchy boots on today.
What do you mean today?
Good point.
No, I didn't, because Halloween is today.
Well, I don't know. Some places did it yesterday. You know what? F*** you. I don't care if you took your kid trick-or-treating anymore.
Yes, you do.
I kind of do. I want to know what he was dressed up as.
He went as Batman. Or he's going as Batman, because he's going trick-or-treating today.
Okay, we should get the show content. Does anybody have any show content? Well, we should put a title on the show, then do show content.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did it last time.
I'll do it. I can do it. Welcome to the video game show. Joining us is... No, this is episode 218, by the way. And joining us is Ivan.
Yo.
Keith.
Hello.
And Phil.
Happy Halloween.
Who brings some content this week to the show?
I did nothing but work on Optimus Prime all week.
It looked good, by the way, Keith, from what you got finished. It looked good. I saw Heather's pictures. Leave it to Heather to have pictures up, 10 minutes after she gets to the party.
She had them up last night.
Yeah.
No, I'm happy with how it came out. Like I said, I got to narrow it down, and I want to finish the legs for next year.
You know what, Keith? You should have been like the bartender, so that you were always behind a bar, so you looked awesome, but,
As long as you can't see my legs. No, so I didn't play anything because I was working on that literally every day all week. And I gotta give a big ham sandwich to Sue because she helped me out immensely with it.
Yeah, there's not very many pictures of her Bumblebee costume. There's like 2, so I didn't get a good...
Well, I know that there's more floating around out there.
Chad, it looked like you put some Elmer's glue on your face and then dove into a pile of leaves, so I wasn't quite sure what you were supposed to be.
Exactly, that's exactly what it was.
That's what he did, man.
You were a pile of leaves?
And my arch nemesis was my girlfriend with a rake.
With a rake, yeah.
Hey.
You were taking pictures. I saw your 400-pound camera.
Yeah, I didn't take many pictures. A couple got dark really quick, and I was like,
You didn't want to blind people with your 400,000 megawatt flash.
Megawatts!
1.21 gigawatt.
400,000 of them!
Yeah, so Bill and his wife were, like, elves.
Yes.
And I guess he spent, like, $50 for official World of Warcraft Blood Elf ears. Like the big 2-foot-long ears.
Yeah.
And they are now missing.
Nice.
Yeah, and we didn't find them while cleaning up.
I'm sure they got thrown out. I mean, you see a giant rubbery ear laying on the ground.
I generally pick it up and add it to my necklace.
Yeah. Did you kick his ass for being an elf?
He was a blood elf.
Doesn't matter. It's still an elf.
That's true.
No, it was alright. On Halloween, you can be an elf.
Yeah, I suppose if you're gay.
Well, his wife was an elf, too.
It's okay for girls to be elves, because all elves are girls.
Girls.
So, Ivan, what'd you do this week? Because you're the one that's going to save us.
I played Fallout 3 New Vegas. I purchased it for myself for my birthday.
Oh, that's right. By the way, Ivan, happy birthday.
Oh, thank you.
I did wish you a happy birthday already.
You did? So I played probably, 2 or 3 hours. I haven't played too much of it because I just bought it Friday.
I gotta get that game back. I let a buddy borrow it. I haven't quite beaten it yet.
New Vegas or just Fallout 3 in general?
Just Fallout 3 in general. I I have my guy who's uses rifles and brass knuckles, and he's got a cowboy hat and a mustache.
Nice.
Now, is New Vegas a completely different game with a disc, or is that like DLC?
So I played Fallout 3, and then I bought all the DLC that came with it, and I played through all that. New Vegas is a completely new game.
You start at level 1?
Yeah, you start from scratch. You doesn't even care that you have ever played Fallout 3.
Oh, come on, there's got to be an achievement in there.
I don't know if there's... I didn't look at the achievements yet.
Most achievement things at least usually put it in. If you played our first game, you can get an achievement or...
So that's the thing. So originally Fallout was developed by...
Bethesda.
No, the original Fallouts.
Oh, Interplay. Or do you mean Fallout 3?
No. So I thought Obsidian... I guess Obsidian did some...
Did they do something in these?
...form of Fallout in the past.
I'm looking. Keep going.
I don't know. I never played any of the Fallouts before Fallout.
Yeah, I didn't either. Bethesda bought the rights to the Fallout franchise many years ago and then developed Fallout 3, which came out like 2 or 3 years ago. And they completely redid the whole thing. They turned it from like a 3/4 view strategy type game into more of like a first-person shooter role-playing type game. Because, I mean, you guys remember the whole big controversy of, are they going to ruin the franchise by changing the whole thing? And it turns out that it was an awesome game and everyone loved it. So New Vegas is produced by Bethesda, but it was actually developed by Obsidian using the Fallout 3 engine. So they essentially just used Bethesda's engine. So it's a brand new game developed by a different studio using Bethesda's engine. So it's a brand new game. You start from level 1. You start completely over, but it's set in the Fallout 3 kind of universe in Vegas instead of, in the Washington, D.C. area where Fallout 3 was. So it feels very much, and why I think it's actually called Fallout 3 New Vegas, because it's, it feels very much like Fallout 3, but it's a completely new story, completely new storyline. You're a different person. You're not the Wasteland Wanderer or whatever he was called. You're a different person kind of thing.
So, but it's licensed with Fallout, right?
Yeah.
That's why it's Fallout 3, but...
Yeah.
Just it's like Fallout 3 2.
Exactly.
FYI, apparently Obsidian didn't do anything with the older Fallouts, but people who work at Obsidian did work on the older Fallouts.
Okay, that's what it was. Okay.
I don't know why we've never played any of the older ones, because it seems like we would have liked those games.
Yeah. It sounded like it. And I was always aware of them when they came out, but...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I've heard of it. I knew of it. It seems like we would have liked it. Yet none of us ever bothered to actually play it.
Right. And now it's like one of those things where it's too late, because if you go back and play it now, it's probably going to suck because it's old. Anyway, it's a very good game. It feels very much like Fallout 3. Like I said, it's a completely new story. Instead of you waking up in one of the underground vault things and then trying to find your father, which was kind of the plot of Fallout 3. This one, you are in Vegas, and you start out by being shot in the face by essentially a mobster.
Danny De Niro? Hey, that's kind of funny, because that would be true.
Or a gangster, yeah. And they bury you in the Las Vegas desert, and someone manages to dig you up, and I don't know if it's clear yet if they brought you back to life or if you actually weren't dead when they buried you.
We'll assume it's like Buck Rogers.
Yeah. So the plot so far of the story is you're trying to figure out who shot you in the face and kind of to get revenge.
Oh, so I ruined it by saying it was Danny De Niro.
Yeah.
Sorry, people. Spoiler.
So the first, just kind of as a point of interest, the first Fallout game I played, I kind of took a middle of the road kind of thing, because this is one of those games where you could be as evil or as good as you want, and it's not like other games where they claim you can be as evil or as good as you want, but if you wind up being evil, you wind up screwing yourself, and you can't, like in Oblivion.
Yeah.
You know, they claimed you could be as good or as evil, but if you're evil and you go and kill everybody, then the guards chase you down and they kill you, kind of thing. So you really can't be quote-unquote evil. You can't break into people's houses and steal stuff and then get away with it because the guards always managed to chase you down, and you could never kill the guards because they like scaled with whatever level you were, and they were always like 20 levels higher than you, so they always killed you. Fallout 3 was actually different, and you could be as good or as evil as you wanted. I mean, semi-spoiler alert, but since it's so old now, it really doesn't matter. One of the first towns you come to in Fallout 3, you can there's a giant unexploded nuclear bomb in the middle of the city, and you can either choose to save the town by dismantling it, or you can essentially blow up the town. And actually, there's plot lines that go either way. So you actually can choose whether to be good or evil. So in the first one, I kind of chose to be neutral, kind of. I stole from people and killed people when it kind of suited me, but I was generally nice to people who came up and said, you know, my parents have been kidnapped and I need your help and I will give you money if you help me. Well, then I usually help them because it kind of benefit me, you know. But like if I found a bunch of bad guys, neutral bad guys kind of thing, I would go in and I would kind of kill them, whatever.
You just slaughter indiscriminately. That's fun.
Right. So this one I kind of thought, well, because I always had a hard time being bad kind of thing, because there was always like, oh, look, there's this dog who comes running up to you, and you can either shoot the dog or you can befriend the dog. And I thought, well, I can't really shoot the dog because I'm going to feel bad if I know it's a video game, but I'm going to feel bad if I shoot this dog because he whimpers and, I'm going to feel bad. So I could never actually be actually evil.
Wait. So you have no problem slaughtering just dudes in town, but dog you don't want to shoot?
Well, it's different with animals, yeah.
I'm completely agreeing with you. I just find that whole phenomenon
yeah, I know, it's
interesting.
Weird. So this time around, though, I started off, the first town I came to, I talked to a couple people, but then I was like, this is exactly like Fallout 3. It's really just a new story kind of thing. There's not a whole lot new. Of course, there's going to be like new guns and new weapons and new quests and that kind of thing. But it's essentially
Fallout 3 too.
Yeah. It's not even like a sequel because sequels usually have differences and stuff. You know what I mean? This very much feels like just a different quest line in Fallout 3 that you haven't played yet, kind of thing.
To me, that's the way Mass Effect 2 felt.
Exactly. It was kind of like that. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to make this feel like a completely different game by walking up to somebody, talking to them, getting all the information that they have, and then shooting them. I'm going for like the serial killer kind of mentality playing this game where, just completely emotionless, consciousless person where I get the information that I need so that I get like map markers and know where to go next kind of thing. But like I walked into the bar and I knew that in the bar you could talk to people and you could get some information, but it's a bar, so they've got cash registers and booze and guns and stuff. So I just walked in and I annihilated everybody in the bar. And then it was actually funny because you walk out and you find this guy leaning up against a bus kind of thing. You go up and talk to him, and he is actually a bad guy who you can either choose to work with or against. But if you work with him, essentially what he tells you is he wants to take over this town, and the way he wants to take over the town is by killing everybody in the town so that they don't revolt against him. So I thought, well, this is kind of ironic, and this is going to be an easy quest because I'm going to talk to this guy. So you talk to this guy, and he says, all right, go get these medical things from the doctor in town and then come back, because when we go in to slaughter the town, we're going to need medical supplies to heal ourselves because these guys are going to revolt against us.
Well, I hope this is going where I think it's going.
So I went and did that, and I tried to talk to the doctor to get this. It was one of those dialogue things where you can lie, but my lying wasn't very good. So when I tried to lie to him, he was just like, yeah, you're lying. And I can't give you the medical supplies. So he kind of turned and walked away. So I shot him in the back of the head and stole his medical supplies. Went and talked to the quest giver guy, and he's like, all right, you got the medical supplies. Let's go take over this town. And they slowly walk over towards the town, and they're like, all right, here we go. We're going to just slaughter everybody. and then they walk into the bar where this big showdown is supposed to take place, and then they just instantly just kind of go walk around and they sit down at the seats because essentially
you've already killed everyone.
Yeah, we skipped over that part because I had already annihilated everybody in the bar. So it was kind of funny, actually. So I talked to the guy, and he gave me a bunch of money.
I already killed all of these people. Why? I was in there, and Steve was sitting in my seat, and I asked him to move and shot him accidentally instead. And then it just escalated from there. But hey, let's go have a seat at the bar because now we own the town.
Yeah. So dude gave me some money and some stuff, and then I'm like, cool, thanks a lot. And I went around the corner and I did the little thing where you crouch down and you hide so that you can get critical headshots, and I killed all the bad guys. So I essentially left this town wiping it out twice. Killing all the good guys first, and then killing the bad guys that took over the town. Once the good guys were dead, I killed all them. And so this town is now a ghost town because every person in this town is dead.
They're not worth any experience points alive.
Exactly. And I leveled up twice doing it.
You freed all of that experience. It was trapped in there and couldn't get out, and you freed it from all of those people.
I liberated the experience points.
That's your sociopath's motives. I'm here to free you experience.
So it was really awesome, yeah. So originally I thought, well, so here's my serial killer mentality was I wiped everybody out except, as I told you, I wiped everybody out except the doctor. The reason I left the doctor is because I thought, well, if I come back this way at some point and I need to get healed up, I'm going to want the doctor to do it. So the doctor was the only guy I left alive originally. But then, like I said, I had to go back and I wound up having to kill him anyway. So, but it was funny because now this place is a ghost town now. I got I got map markers and the quest line that is supposed to take me out of the town. I got all of that, but before I actually left, I killed everybody in the town. So originally I was just going to go around and kill everybody just to see what it did, and then I was going to revert to the save that I saved right before I did all that and actually play the game like I would normally play the game, but I thought, no, this is fun. I'm going to play this game beginning to end as though I was like a serial killer. So I'm going to just be completely mental. And
so you have to wander to a new town then in order to sell things.
Yeah, I do. But I mean, I don't know if I'm ever going to have to come to back to this town ever again, but I'm already being sent to a new town. So I talked to this one guy and he says, hey, if you go north, this guy has some information about the stuff that you're trying to find out about. So, I already know that I'm going to another town and that there's going to be other people there. So I already knew that, this town for the time being wasn't going to be any use to me. So I already annihilated everyone in there. So now I'm headed to the next town. So
now if you kill someone, this is one thing that's always bothered me with a lot of video games. If you're hiding and you're sneaking and you're crouched down and no one sees you, and you shoot someone in the back of the head, does everyone in town automatically know it's you that killed them?
Yeah. This game takes on kind of like a faction / like town kind of thing, and it's kind of like World of Warcraft. You kill a bunch of people in this town, and you either gain or lose favor with that town or faction. So if you walk into the bar and you kill the barkeeper, you lose faction points or whatever they are with that town. So if you try and steal from them, you lose a little bit, but they don't try to kill you kind of thing. And it's like Fallout 3 where there's crimes. There's minor crimes and major crimes. Minor crimes are like when you try and steal something. Like if you hover over a chest and it's red, that means you can steal from the chest, but you're going to lose what they call karma points for doing it. And if you try and steal from somebody, they're like, hey, don't steal from me. And they take the stuff back that you've stolen. And if you try and take it again, then they attack you. Or if you just straight up attack somebody, that's considered major crimes. So when you commit a major crime, everybody else in that area, in that town, or from that faction automatically sees you in that light. negative light. So yeah, if you walk in and you kill the barkeeper, you automatically lose enough karma points that everyone else in that town now sees you as an enemy. So it's not like they all come running at you like kind of they did in Oblivion. Like if you killed somebody or stole from somebody,
stop.
Yeah, all of a sudden guards from the city come running in and saying, "Hey, stop." It's like, I was in this place, there's nobody in this house, and I stole this guy's dinner plates. And somehow the guards outside patrolling the city somewhere else knew that I was stealing dinner plates, kind of thing.
The best with that, though, was when you already left and you were like walking down a long road, like in the middle of town, and you just see the guard running.
Yeah. Fallout 3 in New Vegas is different, though. You can commit those kind of crimes, and if you lose karma with that town or city, if you see another town person, they'll come running at you, but it's not like if you kill somebody in a house, the entire town comes into the building to try and kill you kind of thing. They only try and kill you if they see you. So it's possible to actually sneak out of the town and not have the whole town after you. And actually, the way that works is karma points kind of automatically move back up unless you lose more for the same reason kind of thing. So if you kill somebody and then leave and then come back like a week later in game time, they have probably already forgotten about the fact that you killed the barkeeper, and they're like now neutral.
In our town of 17, we already forgotten that after 1 week.
That's right.
Yeah, Red Dead Redemption did stuff like that too, and I kind of didn't like that.
I still want to play that game.
Well, they've officially added zombies to that game, so I'm not sure if it's...
Yeah, they jumped the shark, huh?
Yeah, that's what I was
That doesn't bother me. I was rooting for the Fonz.
At some point, every game incorporates zombies. To kind of wrap up there, so Fallout 3 New Vegas is very good so far. If you liked Fallout 3, you'll like this one just as much, because it's essentially the same game, just new character, new plotline, new quests and stuff. Oh, and the first one they had, what's his face?
What's his face?
The
Liam
British
Neeson
guy.
Was the voice
of
the father.
Right, but the guy who does the voice...
You're Ron Perlman?
No. I can never remember this guy's name. Malcolm McDowell. He was the president of the new Wasteland Republic, or whatever the hell it was. And he was one of the Wasteland Radio, or whatever it was. He was like he did his propaganda over this radio station. If you've played Fallout 3, you know that you can pick up radio stations and you can listen to music and stuff while you're shooting people in the face.
You can listen to music or propaganda.
Right. So Malcolm McDowell had both his propaganda thing, and he played like patriotic type music on his radio station. Well, since you're in New Vegas, the main guy who is like the DJ now, they have Wayne Newton. Wayne Newton has his own radio station, and he plays music. But he's the guy that. So again, if you've played Fallout 3, you know that they give you news updates and stuff, and a lot of times they are related to actions that you've performed. So I went in, I forget what this town was called, New Townsburg,
Haven,
whatever, and I wiped out the town. So then I'm heading off to this new town, and I'm listening to this radio station, and eventually the news gets out, and it says bad news from the town of New Townhaven. Apparently, the town was wiped out by thugs or something like that. And I'm like, wow, that's really cool, because that was me. I'm the one who did that. That's funny.
Very good. And you bought this for the 360?
I did. I took Lano's advice from Sarcastic Gamer, because I know he was playing it. There's a 360 version, obviously, and a PC version, and I kind of didn't know which one to get. I kind of been leaning towards PC games again recently, but I kind of wanted something like, I wanted a couch game. Fallout 3 was my couch game, where I sprawled out on the couch.
Naked,
laid out all nice and comfy on my big screen TV and played Fallout. And that was kind of my couch relaxing game. And since I play a lot of Warcraft and other stuff, Alicia Day is apparently in Fallout New Vegas. That's interesting. I didn't know that.
I don't know who that is.
She's the chick from that web show, The Guild, the World of Warcraft thing, whatever.
I'll take your word for it.
So I wanted another couch game, like I said, because I do a lot of World of Warcraft, and that's always at my PC, and I wanted to move over to the big screen to play something. So yes, I bought it for the 360. And Lano's advice was, so I posted on Twitter, I'm thinking about getting Fallout 3, but I had heard that it was buggy. There was lots of like major game-stopping bugs. Apparently that mainly or completely affects just the PC version. So the 360 version, I guess, doesn't have those same issues. So Lano's advice was they're both good. The PC version has add-on type things, add-on mod stuff already that people have developed. But the 360 is more stable. And then, like I said, so between that and me wanting to have my couch, what I call my couch game.
Your ass missed your couch.
Yeah, I got the 360 version.
I miss you, couch. You're so soft.
So there you go. Chris Christopherson also does voice acting.
I like him.
And Danny Trejo. Oh, I love Danny Trejo.
I got my boss was making fun of me because I got that Machete poster up at work.
Oh,
nice.
Hell
He's
yeah.
He's like, what's with the Machete poster? I said, it's got Danny Trejo. And he goes, who? I said, Danny Trejo, this guy. He goes, oh, that guy. I said, exactly. He is the king of that guy, Danny Trejo. He is that guy.
If you need an evil Mexican in your movie, Danny Trejo is your go-to guy.
I think he's even evolved if you just need a badass Mexican, good or evil.
Well, that's what I meant, yeah.
Now, he is getting a little old, but he's still a badass, and he's still a Mexican.
He is still no less awesome. And his name in the game is Raul the Ghoul. Awesome.
Okay then, guys. Any final words before we close the show?
Support Bob. Go see Megamind this week.
Yes. Megamind is this week.
I think it's Friday the 5th that it is in theaters near you.
Support Bob.
Get his bonus for him.
Yeah, I was going to say, have Bob get his bonus. Go watch Megamind.
It looks like it should be a good movie.